Page 14, Mexican Jumping Beans. On this page, they're introducing you to another symbol to memorize. Hopefully, all these symbols you've been using, you know the names of it and you know what they mean. If they don't, please go back and review this, because we're just going to keep adding more symbols and you're just going to get lost if you don't. So stay up on this. The symbol they're adding is a dot above or below a note. You see it up above there. They're showing a quarter note. One has a dot above them. The dot is on the opposite side of the stem. That's not important. What's important is the fact that there's a dot there. And that indicates a type of articulation known as staccato. There are two kinds of ways of doing this. You got legato, where you connect the notes, and you got staccato, where you don't connect the notes. Those are your choices. That's pretty simple, I think. The problem we get into is that there's different kinds of staccatos. There's different lengths. I could play a notes, these notes, those are connected. That's legato, connect them. I could separate them. That's staccato. It's a long staccato, but it's staccato because it's not connected. I could separate them more. Still staccato, just a little shorter. I could do it more. Make them really short. That's staccato. So there's different kinds of staccatos. We're going to start with the short ones. I'll teach the short first, and then we can lengthen them as the music needs to be. It's an interpretive thing. Sometimes there's symbols in the music that can help you tell. Right now, we're just going to use short ones. And the different techniques for this, and teachers don't agree. Pianists don't agree. Musicologists don't agree. Big surprise there, huh? But what I do is I start out with what's known as a finger staccato. Not all teachers teach finger staccato. I do. I was taught it. It's fine. I use it sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes. But it's good for producing a real short staccato, or if you have a very fast passage. It gives you a pearl-like effect if you're playing it this way. But what we do is the thumb is sideways, so the thumb's going to go up and down. But the fingers actually pluck the notes this way. They don't go up and down. You get tired real quick if you try and do that. Just pluck it this way. So on the C, it's just up and down. Should do these in both hands if you're going to practice them. And then the others, we're just going to pluck it. And depending on your piano, it depends on how short it's going to be. So it's here. Takes a little practice, a little getting used to, but that's what I would suggest you try out here. Now your teacher, if you have one, may be telling you to use a different technique for it. That's fine. Follow what they're telling you. They're your teacher right now. Do what they're telling you to do. Another teacher later on may tell you different. That's okay too, because eventually you get all these different ways of doing it and you'll decide how you're going to do it. You know, it molds you into, okay. And that's really what you'll notice. The dots are above or below all the notes, so they're all staccato. If there is nothing, like the pieces we've had before, there's no dot or anything on them, you just play them legato. Now it hasn't always been that way. Way back in the 1700s, when notes didn't have any slurs or anything on them, the approach by a lot of people there was to disconnect them slightly. Now it's changed and you play them legato. Unless it says different, which it does here. And that's really what Jumping Beans is about, staccato. Everything in here is staccato. Isn't that wonderful? Oh goody. You're here, 4/4 time, it didn't go in, 4/4 now. Your thumb's here, so you're going to be here. And your staccato. Just the whole thing's no big deal. These are the notes. Okay? You have a quarter rest. Remember quarter rest? Like a quarter note, but you're quiet? Left hand, thumb starts here, so you're here. You're in C position. And it's just a lot. See, technically, the music isn't correct yet, but they haven't introduced you all the symbols yet and explained everything. So just follow along as best you can. the last measure of the first line, it's 1, 2, 3, rest. Both hands get it. Now, second line, last measure, you have 2 C's in the left hand, and there's a note there to play the highest C on the piano. Whatever your keyboard is, you got a little keyboard or a full keyboard, whatever it is, find the highest C on it and play that. On a standard 88 key piano, it's the highest. So that now the highest C is the highest note on piano. That is a C, and that's what they want you to play. Don't know why, but they want you to play that. I see in the next page they're going to want you to play the lowest note on the piano. I'll come back to that on the next page. The only other thing then would be the dynamics I forgot to talk about, but it says P at the beginning, which means piano or soft. Keep it soft and light. It's the style of the piece, it's the atmosphere of the piece. Jumping beans aren't going to be that's just not the style of the piece. Keep it light. Light and playful. Speed-wise, it just says jumpy. That's not a speed. You'll figure out, and you can play this at different speeds at different times. How do you feel your jumping beans feel today? Or maybe a little slower. And that's what jumping beans is about. They say it's a C 5-finger scale. Well, 5 fingers, and you're in C position, and you're simply going up and down. 5-finger scale. It's a good idea. It's good practice. Good warm-up. You can use this. You know, we'll expand it out to a full scale later on. Right now, it's good. Talk about warm-ups and that. I'll leave that up to you. Everybody's got their own personal way of warming up. You do it the way your teacher's telling you to do, or over time you'll develop a way to warm up. And I will make suggestions from time to time. Let's play this together slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I don't think it'll be a problem, but I still want to go over it with you. So I'll give us 4 counts, and put your hands where they go. Here and here in C position. There's no pedal on this, so forget the pedal would mess up the staccato. Good grief. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. 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 I want to do the teacher duet thing with you. So you play what you just played and I will do that. Now the teacher is some staccato and some legato, so you just do your staccato and don't worry about what the teacher's doing. And you can go ahead and play your part right where it's written. You don't need to move around on this one, because the teacher part is way up here. Oh, isn't this fun? Okay, here we go. Put your hands in C position. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. Two, 3,